Hello, and thanks for tuning in. I am that nerd dad, Joe Williamson. This is the interview show. Today's guest is Big Kris, aka Chris Bowden. Bowden? Bowden. I think it's Bowden. I should have asked him. He'll see this and yell at his screen. So before we get to the interview, first off, I have to thank you for anyone who's subscribed or followed. Thank you. If you're new and you're just watching this for the first time, you're stumbling across it because you're a big Kris fan, follow me. Hit subscribe. Hit follow. There's probably a subscribe or follow button somewhere, or wherever you're watching or listening to this. If there's a 5-star thing or a thumbs up thing, one of those is greatly appreciated. And comments are lovely. I love the comments because I love the engagement. You people are awesome. And this silly little show continues to grow. So thank you. I couldn't do it without you. I'm going to throw to the interview now, but I'm going to preface it by saying, stick around to the end. It gets a little graphic, and it goes off the rails a little bit, and I end it shortly after we start to get way off base, but it's definitely worth it. So stick around to the end. Here's Kris.
Are you listening? Damn.
All right, everyone. As promised, my guest today is Chris Bowden, aka Big Kris at BK in Ottawa. That's new now, in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Radio and podcast host, stand-up comedian, voiceover artist, and master of ceremonies, bagpipe extraordinaire, and father of one who joined the daddy crew a little late in the game.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, late bloomer.
Late bloomer.
Yeah. First time dad at 40. Just turned 41. She turns her first birthday on Good Friday on the 15th. So
amazing.
Yeah, thanks, man. No, I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me on, buddy. It's great to be here. I wanted to connect in the past and have you on my podcast, and we can do dual podcasts. But thanks for reaching out, man. It's great to be here.
Of course. I mean, look, I always like the idea of an interesting tale from a parenting perspective. And not only are you a dad, kind of a little later in the game, but you also underwent this massive move. You like picked up your whole life and went from morning show radio DJ. Do they still call them DJs?
I would say radio host.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm the wacky morning radio DJ. Yeah, that's who I was, or I am. I still am at heart. I did it for 21 years. And yeah, it was a huge, undertaking, right? I mean, the problem is that, how do you put it? In every duo, there's a Batman and there's a Robin.
Mm-hmm.
And for most of my relationship, I was, for the first, at least, half of our relationship, I was the Batman. I was the morning guy, especially when we first met back in Kingston. I was on.
For those who don't know, who are you referring to?
My wife.
Okay.
Yeah. So, we met back in Kingston and I was, the morning radio DJ. It's a cool job. It's a high profile job. So I was like Batman. And then all of a sudden we underwent a shift after Kingston, where she became Batman and I had to take the Robin role because her career really took off, like in a big way.
Nice.
And so for the last 6 years, so half of our relationship, the second half so far of our relationship, she's been the Batman and I've been the Robin, and this is just another step into supporting the Batman. You gotta we got my dad lives down the road. It's like having Alfred the butler around, and and it's great, man. Her career is just really blossomed, and I'm so proud of her. And for me to take on that secondary role and just literally walk away from a radio show that I'd been doing for 5.5 years, almost 6 years. So it'll be 6 years if I'd made it to this August.
That's a good long time in today's radio world.
Yeah. And a good established routine with my co-host. And, we sort of, had a good understanding and we're pals. And so, so it was tough to walk away from all that. But it wasn't, surprisingly.
Okay.
Just knowing that we're moving home to Ottawa, which is where I grew up, just on the outskirts, Almont on the west side, and then Metcalf. My dad has a farm on the south side of the city, and it's great to be here. 20 minutes to each of my parents' houses, and to be home and to reconnect with people that I went to college with, or I went to high school with. So it's great connecting with them, right? And there's lots to do in this city, and and it's a big city, and
I would
it's
not want to reconnect with people I went to high school with. The people who
yeah.
I know, I'm like, there's like 3 people I know from high school who still I'm close with, and that's plenty. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, not everybody. I'm not adding everybody to Facebook, but certainly, people that I grew up with, there's still many who I've kept in touch with, at least at an arm's length, that we're still pals and stuff. So it's just great to be closer and have a reason to hang out. Going to a concert in a couple of weeks too with a buddy. So yeah, it's amazing to be back. So it seems like, it's been a month and a half, but it just seems like it was like years ago. Things have
You
changed
just
so
kinda
much for me. Yeah.
fell into the routine.
Yeah.
The little one, obviously,
Yeah.
not even a year yet. Um, Big move, big change of routine. Have you noticed a personality change with her? Has she adjusted? Does she like being closer to I don't know, Nana and Grandpa, whatever you call them?
She's enjoying the extra faces and company. It was really overwhelming within the first like day of the move,
Okay.
because first of all, she's all of a sudden in this new house, and then all of our furniture is moving into the house, and she's 10 and a half months, almost 11 months at this point. And yeah, it was really overwhelming for her. And she didn't want to be held. So my stepmom came over, and she had said, I'll play with Blair, which is my daughter's name, by the way, Blair. And I'll play with Blair, and you guys can unpack. Well, Blair did not want to be away from mom or dad, specifically mom. And so it ended up like we looked after Blair, and my stepmom unpacked for us.
Oh god.
So I mean, it was great to have the help and family, and she was, of course, so gracious to do it. But she really wanted some time, and now that things have warmed up a bit, that's a bit better, and we can leave them with the grandparents for a little while we need to go out and do things or need some help, around the house. So yeah, so things are working out awesome. But yeah, the first, it was tough, and getting the sleep back on track, and the other thing is it's a much bigger place. So she mostly lived in a little tiny 3-bedroom sort of apartment that we had in Barrie. And so now we've got this big house in Ottawa. That's the housing difference, folks. That's the cost. I can't even believe that. I mean, we're laughing now. We've got a big, 3-bedroom thing with this finished basement. That's all mine. It's all mine. This basement, the whole thing. It's
That's
my
where
new
you are now,
studio.
right? That's the studio I'm looking at?
That's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, with this wainscoting around me, and so but it's amazing how that translated the cost in housing, right, to here in Ottawa. So that for us too has been a huge thing for us. So but the house is bigger. So Blair, of course, is playing on her playmat, which she's usually we could hang out in the kitchen and clean or do dishes or cook or whatever, and she would be happy to be on the playmat. But now the playmat is for her at her size, taking consideration to scale.
Mhm.
It's miles away from the kitchen. So we're so much further away. So it scares her, and she wants, she gets clingy, right? So, but now that she's walking now, and if she really wants to get somewhere quickly, she sit down and crawl, and she puts her head down and does this like she just like turns on the afterburners. But mostly she'll walk, and she's curious and happy and plays on her own, which is a blessing too. So yeah, so she's finally broken in, shall we say.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's house trained?
Yeah. Yeah.
How's it been for you now as playing Robin? I know you're staying at home a little bit more. You're doing a little more
Yeah.
stay-at-home
Yeah.
dadding. How's that been? How's that for you?
You know what? It's been, oh man, there's so many positives. Because I think you're a good dad, just judging by the name of your podcast and the things that you tweet about.
I hate my kids.
But you love them, because you say you hate them, but you love and hate them at the same time. And yeah, the the sweetest moments. Watching her learn things, that's amazing. She's now sign languaging. She's more. She wants more
We
raspberries and things like
we
that.
did that too. The sign language for babies, and I'm going to
Mm.
detour us just for a second here.
Oh yeah,
The
take it away.
the when my wife first said to me, "We're going to teach our kid sign language," and I got two, 6 and 3.
Yeah,
When she first said, "We're going to teach them sign language," I was like, "What the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about?" But when you teach them a few basic signs, more, water, mama,
yeah,
dada, all that stuff,
yeah,
holy crap, does it make a massive difference early on when they
yeah,
can't tell you what they want.
yeah.
It makes a huge difference. And
Oh, the satisfaction when she says more, and she gets the raspberries that she
yeah,
wanted. Yeah, I mean, and it feels the empowerment, right? The empowerment of walking to be able to tell us exactly what she wants, or more or less exactly what she wants. That has just been great for her. And again, like she's also that early phase, she wasn't walking, she was crawling and being far away from the kitchen, like that was, but also she's grown up a lot since then in the last month. So in terms of just her skills, she's talking, she's got mama data, she's got wow when she's surprised, cat. We don't even have a fucking cat, but cat.
like you guys are watching a lot of Blossom. She's just
Okay.
walking around going,
Well,
"Whoa!"
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like, actually. That's funny because I made that exact comment when we discovered that.
Joey Lawrence around the house.
Yeah, yeah. So it's great that she's, now growing up, right? Her first birthday is this weekend, so that's exciting too. And now all the faces that come to her birthday party aren't going to scare the shit out of her. That's awesome too because she's got a lot of time, to know everyone here.
What are the plans for the first birthday? Are you guys going like all out? And is this
Uh,
gonna double as a housewarming, or is this like
it's kind of
gonna
an
go
open
small? Yeah,
housewarming, yeah, but also her birthday. So this is my like you'd have
it's
to
gonna
ask
be
my
a
wife.
disaster.
You'd
I'm
have to ask
already
my wife.
stressed out for you.
But no, basically, we're having Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of the Easter weekend. Although Friday is her actual birthday, but we're gonna just hang out here by ourselves and rest up as a family. It's a big friggin' shebang, the sixth wave is happening across Canada, but we're having a shebang. And
Doug Ford
so
said it's fine. It's okay.
I've got my fucking in-laws, my father-in-law and stepmother-in-law, coming down in a camper van, and they're going to park their camper van in our driveway. And then I've got my nieces and my sister-in-law staying in the spare room. Yeah, I'm gonna be fucking Chevy Chase. This is my
Yeah.
weekend. All right, this is what's happening. So it's a 3-day event. I'm surprised my wife hasn't gotten us a blow up castle for the fucking backyard. Like
The
it's just,
wacky inflatable tube man in the front.
yeah, man. I'm starting to get worried here. What's gonna happen? But like, is there gonna be a petting zoo or what? We're gonna start roasting a pig on the front lawn? Like, what's happening? So that I mean, it's her first birthday. She's already gotten some cute little gifts since we moved here, and I know my parents are ready to spoil her rotten. So it's going to be nice on that regard. We're doing here's the other thing. We did the solid starts program for her food. I don't know if you know what that is or if you do that.
You're gonna give me some education here. Go ahead.
So yeah, it's a solid starts thing. So we've had her on this interesting diet since she started solids in that she's had no sugar, no salt, unless it's like seaweed, which has like natural salt, but like no salt, like it's been all raw foods basically since day one. She eats cucumbers, she just picks them up and eats them, red peppers and everything. But we're giving her steak and chicken, and she's all over it, man. Anyways, it's this program that my wife subscribed to, which of course I rolled my eyes at in the beginning anytime she subscribes to anything. But it actually is quite
They always
ingenious.
know. They always know. And
Oh, they do.
we're always like, just give them some Cheerios. And they're
Like,
like, no, this is the way to
no,
go.
no, no, yeah, yeah, no, don't you dare fucking give her Cheerios, right? I'm making like I made a sardine pate for her on rice crackers. She just picks it up and eats it, man. I mean, yeah, it gets messy, but any kid learning to eat is messy. So she's all self-sufficient with eating. She uses a spoon now. No big. It's like all set. And we've done that for the last 6 months since she started solid. So anyways, back to what I was saying with the birthday. My stepmom's making this beet cake, which is all like, again, all natural. Like there's no sugar, there's nothing. We're gonna just keep going on this no sugar kind of thing. And I'm kind of proud of that because I'm a fucking fatso. You know, I'm trying to get her off on the right start and have her gut biome as healthy as possible before she goes to college and eats McDonald's for fucking breakfast every day. But you know,
she's not one, and you have her going off to college.
well, that's what I'm saying. That's when she can start eating shitty food, and that's her choice. But you know, up until that point, I'm going to try my best to like break the chain of unhealthy eating.
Is that what you were you like? Because I was 120 pounds when I graduated high school, and now I'm 230. And I put on those pounds pretty quickly after high school. As soon as I had that freedom, that's exactly what I did.
Yeah, no, and I was fat before I went to college, man. I was a big lad my whole life.
Is this where Big Kris comes from?
Yeah, that's where it comes
the
from.
Origin story?
The origin story is I don't know. I don't even know. I started eating like shit when I was like in 5th grade. You know, I just got obsessed with, I guess, TV ads and Coca-Cola and pop and like root beer. And I don't know, man. I don't know why I just got obsessed with sugar drinks and you know, McDonald's and stuff. And of course it was the 80s too, man. Like parents didn't know any better than to take you to McDonald's. Now people know better. So you know, I don't fault my parents or anything. Of course I got addicted to fucking food myself. But yeah, I would say I was a food addict, still am. Yeah, that was, I just want to break that cycle, man. You know, I want to give her the best. So, you know, yeah, sure. I bought a $25 steak the other day and then I diced it up and I gave her pieces of the steak and I ate some of it myself and my wife ate some of it. But, you know, sure, I hate seeing her take it and be like, and like throw it on the floor, but that's what happens. And yeah, so sometimes it's a little frustrating when you have like high-end items like haddock, you know, like, you know, she loves fish. But you know, when I order up enough haddock for 3 of us, man, it gets friggin' pricey. She can just like mow it, man. Crazy. So yeah, anyways, that's back to that. The beet cake is, yeah, for her birthday. That's the big thing we're doing. So big roundabout there.
Yeah, we went from beet cake to 1980s diets to
yeah, I know. Yeah, sorry, man. I'm just, you know,
no, it's good.
Yeah. Just
I know
on the tangent.
you have told me off camera you're kind of excited just to be doing something like this again because you're trying to get your own stuff up and running from this new environment now. So where are we on that progress?
Oh man, thanks for asking because yeah, there's been a hiatus. Just well, I mean, my computer blew up just before Christmas, so that of course put the podcast on ice for a bit, and then
naturally,
and then I got it, but then we moved to Ottawa. Like I just quit my job and moved to Ottawa, and then here we are, right? So this is the first guesting or anything I've done here from the studio. You know, I finally got it together just this morning because I was, you know, just pressed for time and luckily it's working well today. So yeah, no, it's good.
Sounds good.
But yeah, thanks, man. Building the studio has been, you know, the last thing on the checklist of household needs and items, especially with the first birthday party coming up. We got to get, you know, the jumpy castle assembled out back. Just joking.
Has the cleaning taken over yet? I know whenever we're having company over, my wife, it's a challenge. All of a sudden, it's like looking at the blinds, and I'm like, I've never once looked at the blinds at someone else's house. I've never noticed them, and she's like, we need to dust those things.
Yeah, no, we definitely. My wife is a clean freak for sure, but I'm more of a. I like a clean house as well. Like I'm not, but I'm just not like her. And especially not when her mother is visiting. I don't know why that's a trigger for her. I don't know who else's wives or whatever if you have this issue, but like, man, when mom is coming to visit the house, like the night before, we're mopping the floors. It doesn't matter how clean the house is.
Have you ever had to mop
the series of events still need to happen, right? We still need to freshly mop the floors and the tile and the entryway and the, you know, and blah, blah, blah. And it's just literally, it has to be a hotel room / model home when she walks into the house. Like that's it. And we have to do it. So I don't think that's uncommon. I know a few other buddies whose wives are like that too.
Yeah. As soon as company is coming over, and the higher in regard the wife holds them in their head, the cleaner it has to be.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah. So yeah, mom is the highest regard. So therefore she needs to, hey,
like
we solved it.
when my brother comes over, for example, I don't care. He's got 2 kids himself. He knows
Yeah.
what a house looks like.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I think there's like competition too with like other members of the family who have kids, right? Like to show like, yeah, just because I have kids doesn't mean we can't have like a showroom home. You know what I mean? I think that's happens as well, where she's like, you know, damn it, you know, my sister's coming over, but like my house isn't gonna look like a wreck.
but it is a wreck. I mean,
I
for
know,
us,
I
we
know,
just
I
shove
know.
everything into the we shove like this office slash nursery slash studio that I'm
Yeah,
in. It serves 3 purposes. It serves a 4th when company comes over. It's the dumping ground. All the shit we don't know what to do with gets shoved into this room. That door gets
yeah,
closed.
yeah,
So I'm spilling the tea for all of my future guests. If you ever want to see what the house really looks like, come into this room.
yeah.
It's a
Well,
disaster.
that's what my studio has been lately, has been the dumping ground just for any boxes of random junk that we're like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know, put it in the basement. Well, I'm like, hang on a second. The basement's where I do the podcast. Like, you know,
This
this
is
is my,
my
this is my
thing.
it's supposed to be my dungeon down here. But I guess, you know, a dungeon wouldn't be a dungeon without without a bunch of clutter.
It's a bunch of shit all over the place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh man. All right. So what's next for Big Kris? You're in Ottawa. The podcast is coming.
Yeah,
Little one's in
podcast.
daycare.
Yeah, we've got for the podcast, I've got a bunch of guests lined up ready to go. I'm just finishing some technical stuff. You know, trying to sort out some technical stuff because I want to have people here in the studio. Um
Are you okay?
yeah, I'm great, man. Sorry, I didn't get a glass of water. Yeah, I have like a big comfy chair of Strombolopoulos thing that I can have a guest sit on with a mic stand and mic and everything sort of set up over here in the corner. So
You're gonna do in-person interviews? How
yeah,
retro.
it's a bit fucking
So
time.
retro.
I'm so I know exactly. I want
So
it to be retro. I want it to have a talk show vibe. That's been the thing, man. So I want to have, you know, like, you know, who started here on cable access television in Ottawa? Tom Green. That was how he did it, man. So I'm gonna just do my own cable access kind of thing, and you know, and I mean, I'm still gonna do obviously, mostly, digital interviews, you know, but you know, over the web, the World Wide Web. Maybe you've heard
The
of it.
internet thing that's going on?
Yeah, it's hot. I've
Yeah.
heard.
Very
So
trendy.
I want to, anyways, but you know, I do want to have the option available for somebody to come in and sit down and chat for a while,
That's awesome.
or have somebody on the line and also in the chair. So,
Oh, a little like a
yeah,
little round table.
little three-way.
Hey,
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm working on right now, and I'm just gonna figure out how I can do that. There's, you know, there's technical things I got to figure out because I'm technical, but I'm not that technical. You know what I mean? I know enough, but not enough. I know just enough to be dangerous.
yeah, I tend to learn the next step. So like for example, you and I right before I came on tried to hook up a new webcam, didn't work.
Yeah,
Wasn't working. Went
yeah.
back to the old one. I am now going to learn how to make that camera work and then I will stop learning. I will have learned that next thing and then I'm done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, does the little one come into the studio or is this like
No,
a
no, this is
dad's off limits?
no, she can't come down here. No, because there's even better just to keep her out of here. There's like a step. We've got like a baby gate, so it comes like a step, and then you go down, and then there's like another floor, and then you come down to the stairs to the basement. So, we were like, well, she's gonna fall on that step, right? So we have a baby gate up there. So I'm like, she ain't getting down here, man. No, and it's also the laundry room down here. So
Yeah, lots of chemicals and stuff, I guess. Eh?
yeah,
But it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
nice
It's not
basement. It's
good.
nice looking. It looks like.
Well, and always, yeah, it is very nice. Yeah, I mean, like I say, we lucked out here with the housing pricing difference between the GTA and Ottawa. So yeah, we're feeling groovy about it. Yeah, and it's great. I can't wait till it's finished, and I will post pictures up at BK in Ottawa on all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and on
Do you plan
Facebook.
on getting sued by Burger King, or is this?
What's that? Sorry.
Do you plan on getting sued by Burger King? Because BK is.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're going to go out of
Burger
business in this town. There's only enough room in this town for both of us, or one of
Yeah.
us, I should say, for one of us. But yeah, so I'll post up pictures when the studio's all finished. It'll be sexy. I've already got like a thing with my records and like a whole scene. It'll be nice.
I can tell it is because you keep looking off camera and kind of admiring it. You're kind of
Yeah,
like,
I'm like,
yeah, it's
yeah,
that. It's
yeah.
nice.
Well, I've got an old typewriter, and it's like it looks cool. It's a cool scene. And I got like a display of like 18 jars, mason jars full of weed, too, like just sitting around.
Go on.
Yeah. Oh, are you into the cannabis?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not. Oh, okay.
I
But
mean, I'm
yeah,
not opposed to it.
I've got a ton of that. Yeah. I don't know who is. But I've got a
Yeah.
ton of just stuff my father-in-law grows, and he just every Christmas or every birthday or every time he visits, he just brings me a couple of jars, and I'm like, I can't smoke all of this. Like it's just I've got a crate full of it here, but it makes a cool display. Like it makes it looks, it's a cool display as well.
In my household, it's a Crown Royal, and it's like I have more
Mm.
Crown Royal than I'll ever drink. But
Yeah.
it's the thing. Oh, here's a bottle of Crown, and they're like, yeah, I like taking a shot, and I like a glass once in a while, but
Yeah.
I will never drink all of this Crown. My kids will be drinking it.
Yeah, yeah. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, well, you have to keep an eye on it though, man, until they're of age. But yeah,
I'm not worried about the older one drinking it. The younger one, he's gonna be
oh yeah,
an alcoholic.
you pegged him already, eh?
Yeah, he's the older one is very mature, and
A
the
rule
younger one I
follower.
gotta watch out for.
Yeah, a rule follower. Oh, that's good, man. Well, hey, man, yeah, I do like the whiskey as well, but I mix it up with I like the 40 Creek myself, but
Okay.
I understand. But I do respect the Crown Royal because I will buy Crown Royal from time to time, but only because I want a Crown Royal bag. I think that's
Those
the
bags
best,
are beautiful.
aren't they? Yeah, I mean, and you can repurpose them for anything.
I use them for dice.
I have one that I
Board
just jerk
games.
off into.
Yeah, it's like it's your sock.
Yeah, I
Very
use it as a
royal of you.
sock, yeah.
And then you can tighten the string around the. Okay, this is good.
Yeah, yeah, you can choke it off like a cock ring,
So we started on your 1-year-old's birthday.
Yeah,
and ended
yeah,
on
yeah. We're gonna
jerking
have a
off into a Crown
sugar-free,
Royal bag.
sugar-free beet cake. I'm gonna stick my dick in it. No, I'm not. Definitely.
Okay,
not.
he's BK in Ottawa. I'm calling this now before it gets weirder. He's at BK in Ottawa. He's Big Kris. He's the best. Follow him. Thank you.
Thanks you, Joe.
Thank you, Kris. And recording. That's it. It's the show. Kris is awesome. And once I hit stop hitting record, we got things back on track. But we ended up talking radio. And he and I are going to reconnect again very shortly, I think. And we're going to talk about radio. And we're going to talk about his journeys. And we're going to talk about being a parent while a morning radio show host. There are some tales to be had there. I can sense it. I can feel it. So Kris and I are going to connect again in the future. And I'll hopefully figure out my camera situation so I can get my DSLR thing working here, because I don't know why the hell it wasn't working. It was working yesterday and then it didn't work for today's recording. Anyways, that's it. That's the show. Wanna thank DeanBlundell.com. DeanBlundell.com, home of Canada's #1 podcast network. It's a treat to be writing for them and working alongside these gentlemen. And lovely females, too. There's some good cats in there. As Dean often says, we need more females in podcasting. Because there's way too many dudes' voices. So, you're out there. Reach out. Connect. Let's have some fun with this. I also want to say, I have rebranded thatnerddad.ca. I give it a facelift. I'm blogging my dick off, as they say. And so now you can catch my articles on deanblundell.com and more on thatnerddad.ca that are specific to my demographic. Something that I think may not fit or work well with deanblundell.com, I throw it up on mine. And if I think it'll fit on deanblundell.com, I put it on both. Do a little overlap. So we're trying to grow the brand continuously. And before I say exit, or hit the theme exit button, thanks again for listening, for watching, for telling a friend, for telling an enemy. I cannot believe we're circling in on episode number 100, but here we are. And I just could not be more humble and flattered and appreciate all the kind words and things like that. So before I get all teary-eyed and misty-eyed, I'll save that for later, but thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Damn.